Following on from part 1 of my representation in knitting video essay, 1 year on, I thought I would do a follow-up. I also want to take the opportunity to address some of the ideas brought up by some of the comments left by viewers of part 1. Thanks to everyone who left your thoughts and shared your own experiences on the matter. I realised that while many people of colour shared a similar story to my own, I was happy to learn that many people of colour have access to inclusive, in-person crafting communities. I would like to envision a brighter future in fibre crafts, so I think it's essential to recognise the steps that can facilitate change and ensure that all makers, regardless of their background, feel welcomed and valued. The path forward is not just about creating visibility, but actively nurturing a culture of inclusivity that empowers everyone to share their stories and skills. Understanding the historical context of crafting practices is crucial. Fibre arts have rich, diverse traditions rooted in various cultures. For instance, weaving techniques from indigenous communities and knitting styles from African heritage each carry stories that deserve to be told. By acknowledging these histories, we create a richer tapestry within our craft. Educators, designers, and content creators should highlight these narratives, weaving them into the fabric of modern fibre arts to show that the contributions of people of colour are integral to its evolution. As I continue my journey in the crafting world, sharing my own projects through my YouTube channel, on the back of my previous video on the subject, I was asked if I could provide a list of other crafters of colour that I enjoy.
Well, honey, we can't go wrong with a free analysis. That's right.
Presumably so that the viewer and others may expand their own viewing. Now, I'll be honest, I had a visceral reaction to this request.
How about no?
Okay, so let me explain. So I felt like I had already put together this essay, created this video, and within it I have already spotlighted other designers and creators of colour whom I have enjoyed in the past. So on top of that, to provide a ready-made list of creators that I enjoy just felt like expecting me to do all of the heavy lifting.
I'm not touching it. Do you understand that I'm not touching it?
A lot of these channels have way more subscribers than I have. I'm only a small YouTube channel, so yeah. That was my initial, very human reaction. My logical, more measured response to that viewer was to repeat the notion that we all need to make that effort to find and support crafters of marginalised groups. It's on all of us. These days, I understand that people are a lot more discerning about the craft channels they give time to, especially as it seems that everyone and their grandma has a channel. So naturally, the competition for our attention is fierce. But everyone receives a disservice if we only stick to the same popular channels pushed by more generalised algos. Especially when, naturally, channels get big and videos can seem like one long advertisement for sponsored yarn and products. We really can do better. There really are some gems of channels out there just waiting to be discovered.
Processes that he goes through to get that on the screen, I can't even begin to compute in my own mind.
I recently found a tried and true way to discover such gems via my discovery pages on Instagram. It really has learned what I like, so I find interesting people to follow and then have a look to see if they have YouTube channels and then look to see who they follow and so on. It's also vital for platforms, whether social media, podcasts, magazines, etc., to actively seek out and showcase creators from various backgrounds. This isn't merely an act of humanity, but an investment in the vitality and creativity of the fibre arts community. Featuring Black, Indigenous, people of colour, designers and makers in prominent spaces can inspire others and demonstrate that their perspectives are not only valid but essential.
We think you're incredible.
Someone also wrote to me explaining that I didn't need the approval from any algorithm to craft, and that if I wanted to knit, I should knit. And while this is of course fundamentally true, I think context is crucial here. I'm not sure of the ethnicity or cultural background of the person who left this comment, but they did say that they come from generations of women who crafted. And say you were Black and was taught to knit by your grandmother, then yes, I could see why representation in the media would be of lesser importance or of no consequence to you whatsoever. I, however, was not as fortunate. Do you know how I learnt to knit? YouTube. The modern world is insular and individualistic. We generally struggle to form meaningful connections and community in the age of the internet. So while it is great to have 24/7 access to whatever we want and learn what we want mostly in the comfort of our own homes, we still have a very human need to see people who look like us doing the things we want to do and love. Workshops and classes designed specifically for underrepresented groups can bridge gaps in access and knowledge. Initiatives like mentorship programs can pair seasoned crafters with newcomers, fostering an environment of support and shared learning. For instance, imagine a workshop led by a Black, Indigenous, or person of colour designer sharing traditional techniques while inviting participants to explore their creativity. I know that knitwear designer Jeanette Sloan founded the initiative called BIPOC in Fibre, a directory to find other Black and Indigenous fibre creatives, and artist Lorna Hamilton Brown and her collective We Out Here offer talks, exhibitions and events to explore heritage through fibre art and multimedia. Such experiences can empower individuals to embrace their cultural heritage through craft. As I have always said, fostering a community is at the heart of crafting. Local yarn shops, guilds like an The vision for the future of knitting and fibre arts is one of vibrant diversity, where every individual feels a sense of belonging. Imagine a world where a young girl of colour sees her reflection in the diverse tapestry of makers, her dreams fueled by the knowledge that she is part of a rich legacy of creativity and expression. Knitting circles will be filled with voices from various backgrounds, each contributing their unique experiences and ideas, creating a dynamic, collaborative community. Utopic? Perhaps. But as we move forward, let us commit to these values, ensuring that the fibre arts community is not just a space for crafting, but a sanctuary for all creators. Together, we can stitch a narrative that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, and inspires generations to come. The fibres we use to create are but a reflection of the many threads that make up our society. Let's weave them together into something beautiful.